Thank you for joining me on this episode of Highway Spec. My name is Trent. We're going to jump right into speccing out a McLaren 750S. Now, the McLaren 750S has caught some flack because it's not that much different than a 720S. To me, it's obvious. Of course, it wasn't going to be the next version of whatever is going to replace the 720S. It is an evolution, an iteration update. And in doing so, it gains 30 horsepower and loses about 60 pounds, which is actually pretty remarkable when this was already considered the benchmark vehicle. And that is shown in McLaren's advertising. Benchmark beaten, it says right there on their website. And today we're going to spec one out. We're going to actually go with a Spider. We actually haven't done a Spider on this page in a while. It's usually always choosing the coupe, but considering this is not the track version, I think the Spider is the way to go. Now, some other things that were kind of overlooked when this was announced because everybody was expecting this whole new thing. I don't know what they were expecting, but
I want more!
The eye sockets are actually a little bit smaller. Those were very controversial when they first came out. They made those a little bit smaller. They've redesigned the front bumper. The suspension is a little bit redesigned as well. You can see this intake scoop here on the side by the door is brand new as well. So we're going to go ahead and configure one.
It's go time.
All right, so here is always the tough part of any McLaren build. They have a lot of colors to choose from, and I'm not going to go through all of them because right now as I'm recording this, I'm backing up hundreds of gigabytes of data to a new backup provider. So unfortunately, it's made my internet a little bit slow. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick a color because there are too many options to explore. Okay, and the color I'm going to pick is actually Cosmos Black. This is actually a really nice color if you see it in person, but I do like that the dark colors kind of hide that new change to the front bumper. The previous front bumper had a little bit of black in the middle of it, and I think that was actually a better look, but having a darker color kind of hides what they've done to that front end, which makes it a little bit stealthier. People think maybe you don't have the 750S when you do. I'm just still going to have a great time in this car. So I'm picking Cosmos Black. Now there are some new wheel options. This is the standard wheel, the turbine, but I really like this Strike 10-spoke wheel, and we're going to stick with the silver color.
I'm sticking with it.
Now the classic McLaren color is orange, so I could go with McLaren orange brake calipers, but for me, I actually think I'm going to go with red on this one because red and black just looks great together. All right, I am going to stick with the standard tires and not go with the track brake upgrade because, frankly, this wouldn't see that much time on the track. And this would make my McLaren dealer not very happy. I'm actually skipping over a lot of the options, including the exterior carbon fiber. I've talked about this before in the 765LT video. That is a car that I will go for the carbon. In this car, doesn't really matter to me. Now the exhaust tip here, you can get it in stealth or in silver, and part of me wants to go with the silver to match the other silver elements that I'm putting on the outside of the vehicle. However, the back end being completely blacked out like that, so your focus is more on the taillights, looks really nice. So I think I'm gonna go with the stealth exhaust tips. One thing I will do is the electrochromatic roof, so you can actually see it out of the top of it when the roof is up. All right, one thing that does carry over from the 765LT is the option for these carbon fiber front louvers, which I said I was not going to go with much in the way of carbon fiber, but this looks really cool. So I'll give you a quick visual change there. That's what it looks like standard. That's what you get with the louvers. I think the louvers, they look pretty nice. Also going to choose the Sound Comfort windscreen, so there is less noise in the cabin.
Loud noises!
All right, so I could go with the full Alcantara interior, but this is going to be more of a luxurious build, so I'm going to go with the Tech Lux interior and see what kind of color options that gets us. This, of course, does pick the comfort seats, and because I did choose the red on the outside, I do want to choose red on the inside as well, and I think this is going to look really nice. Like I mentioned on the exterior, we're going to skip over a lot of the carbon fiber on the interior as well. Pretty much all of it. We are going to get the power adjusted heated memory seats because this is a comfort build. Now I would say go with the red seat belts that would match the calipers. However, the difference between the red on the seat belt and the red on the seat, is a little too much, so we're just going to stick with black. Again, skipping over a lot of these options, keeping the standard steering wheel, the Napa leather sill trim, not adding any of these extras to it. Kind of a low spec so far. I will add the Bowers & Wilkins 12-speaker sound system because that's not something that you can upgrade very easily through an aftermarket audio shop. Don't really want a lot of people pulling off door panels and upgrading the speakers, so we're just going to upgrade from the factory. All right, so we are going to add the 360 park assist. Hopefully that does come with the front and rear parking sensors and the rear view camera and sensors. It looks like it does. Going to do the volumetric alarm upgrade and the front lift, which is supposedly much improved on the 750S and only takes 4 seconds instead of the previous 10 seconds. Adding the home link, other than adding the battery charger here, I think we're just going to skip over all these options, and that takes us to the summary, which, like I said, kind of a low spec, more of a luxurious spec, but I think that looks rather sharp. You've got the Cosmos black exterior with the red interior and a few red accents like on the brake calipers there, sticking with the silver wheels, going with the fender louvers there. Otherwise, it's pretty basic. That said, it doesn't give us a cost because if you have to ask, it's going to be too much. However, it is going to be significantly less expensive than the Lamborghini Revuelto, which, based on somebody I know who has both a Revuelto and a 750S on order, the price difference is several $100,000 between the two.
Seriously? Seriously?
All right, so there it is, my McLaren 750S spec, how I would do it. What do you think of it? If these are the type of videos you enjoy, make sure to subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.